Sports Radio.
Hey, Tampa Bay, it's Pat and Aaron here letting you know that right now at Mazda of Clearwater, you can drive off in a new Mazda with zero down and zero payments until May 2026, making this the best time for you to get into a new Mazda from Mazda of Clearwater.
There's nothing to it signing and zero payments until May 2026. Trust us, it's worth your time to make the drive over the bridge to Clearwater. Come see why we love Mazda of Clearwater so much, and you can get your own details at MazdaofClearwater.com.
You know who's listening to the radio? Voters. Lots of them. So if you're running for office, this right here, great place to reach them. And it's not like social media where people are just swiping through ads. With radio, they're engaged. Plus, it's 1/10 the time and cost of video. Don't just campaign. Connect with millions all over the country, even thousands in the smallest communities with radio. Be on the air in just 48 hours. Visit winwithiheart.com. That's winwithiheart.com.
I was walking down that long, dusty road. No truck, no car, just a heavy load. Credit was shot, repo took my ride. Dreaming on wheels with tears in my eyes. Then I heard a voice say, come as you are. No money down, we'll get you in a car. Why not?
Second chances are real at St. Pete Mitsubishi. Come as you are, no money down. Bad credit, they say yes. Visit St. Pete Mitsubishi today or online at stpetemitsubishi.com. Subject to credit approval.
Guys, if you're tired of dragging through the day with zero energy, no motivation, and that gut that won't go away, you need to hear this. Low testosterone is real, and it's affecting millions of men. It hits your energy, your confidence, your strength, even your relationships. PG Men's Health is now offering medically supervised testosterone replacement therapy. You'll get a full blood panel, a medical consult, and a custom treatment plan with licensed providers guiding you every step of the way. And most guys start feeling better in 30 days or less. More energy, more focus, stronger workouts, better sleep, and yes, even a better sex life. And today, Wednesday, February 25th only, PG Men's Health is offering your initial consult, the blood test, and your first month of treatment absolutely free to the first 10 callers. That's over $600 in value, and it's today only. Call PG Men's Health now at 877-755-MENS. That's 877-755-6367. Again, 877-755-MENS. Don't wait. Get your edge back now.
When this happened, you talked about it on WDAE.
With the 7th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Mike Evans, wide receiver, Texas A&M.
When Tampa Bay sports happen, talk about it here.
All right, that wasn't even planned. That just kind of happened. What are the odds? The Mike Evans moment when he was drafted. Chris Mathis, you remember that moment?
Oh, yeah, of course I do. I was the most excited guy in America over that draft pick. There's no doubt about that.
The best part about it, I love that you had a video. For those of you that haven't heard the story, Chris Mathis, you did that. You were like ahead of your time because this was 2014. People didn't really post reaction videos then.
I know, dude. If only I would have stuck with it back then. Oh my gosh.
You had a reaction to Mike Evans being drafted, and you were pissed because you were waiting to hear the name of Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, I threw my hat down and everything. I was very frustrated as a Buccaneer fan growing up in North Georgia.
It's the only time I've ever seen you upset was the moment Mike Evans got drafted, which is kind of crazy when you think about it.
Now, obviously, I recognize I was wrong, and that I'm glad I didn't go with what my choice was. I'm glad the Bucs went away from my hopeful of getting Johnny Manziel in Tampa Bay.
You weren't alone. A lot of people, like I remember at the time where I worked, my program director was a Vikings fan, and he wanted Johnny Manziel and was so upset when they didn't get him. So you weren't the only one. I promise you that. We're going to get into this. Teams with 1% or less chance to win the World Series. There's 9 of them. We're going to get into that just a second. Wrapping up the Mike Evans stuff, and we'll get back into Mike Evans, of course, at the top of the hour. Text line blowing up on Mike Evans, and we're going to read more of those later on in the show. But I do want to say text like this is what makes me love coming into work every single day and doing the Nick Wise Show here every day from noon to 2. If you're just joining us for the very first time, maybe you've never heard me before. Oftentimes I've been on the weekends, and I know it's a completely different listening audience. Everybody's in a different routine on the weekends. I've worked here now since 2020. In fact, the first time I did a show was after the bye week of the 2020 season. And then the Bucs went on to win a Super Bowl. And then 2021, they went on and, they won a bunch of they won a stretch of games there at the beginning of the year. Like, I went a year without ever having to talk about a Buccaneers loss, which was awesome. And then, of course, the Lightning won the 2 Stanley Cups. So what a time the last couple of years. We've been really spoiled here. But so I've been here for a while, but just started weekdays, noon to 2, part of the new lineup. And, of course, T-Kraz is after me at 2. He's on till 6, and then Rock Riley takes over at 6 o'clock. Tonight, Rock will be on from 6 to 6:30. Gator basketball on at 6:30 as their quest for March Madness continues. They are now in the top 10 now, which is pretty good. But texts like this that say, or they say, I cannot tell you how happy I am to get in my car at lunchtime and hear you on the radio. I love that we are live and local. You're doing an amazing job. Congrats and keep up the amazing work. I appreciate texts like those. It's nice every now and again to get a text that's not calling you a dumb idiot for your take. So thank you for that. I appreciate you listening. And for everybody listening, I really appreciate it. It means the most because if you don't listen, I don't get to do this. And we don't get to be local without you guys listening. So thanks for having us on. It's the new 95.7 WDAE. We are still on AM 620 as well. But you can flip over and hear us on the crystal clear FM signal, I would say, from Sarasota's getting us crystal clear. I know Wesley Chapel, Lakeland area getting us as well. There's a lot of areas that weren't getting us before that are getting us now. And, of course, you can still hear us on iHeartRadio, too. If you set us as a preset, the preset remains the same. You are all good there. If you're, coming to the station right now looking for Spanish, you can catch the Roomba on 95.3 and also 102.9. All right, so I thought this was fascinating, Chris Mathis. There are 9 teams. Actually, hold on. I think there's more than that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, there's 11 teams. What's funny is I counted this 3 times in the break and came up with the number 9.
That's all right. Math is in my last name, not yours.
And there's 11 teams, according to Fangraphs. Okay, so DraftKings posted it, but it's via Fangraphs. Teams with a 1% or less chance to win the World Series. Do you think the Tampa Bay Rays are one of those 11 teams with less than 1% chance to win the World Series?
I'm going to say no. I don't think the Rays are less than 1% chance to win the World Series.
Well, according to Fangraphs, they are. And the way that this is broken down is it's 0.0 chance, 0.1%, 0.2, 0.5, 0.6, 0.8, and then 1%. And we'll start from the bottom. We'll work our way up. You tell me where you think the Tampa Bay Rays fall. 0.0% chance to win the World Series. There are 3 teams here. Do you believe one of these teams is the Tampa Bay Rays?
Absolutely not. I do not believe that their chances are that low to where they're so minuscule they don't even exist, Nick. I don't see that.
All right, can you name the 3 teams that have a 0, I wish we had the drop, 0.0 chance to win the World Series? There's 3 of them.
Yeah, 3. Okay, I'll go with, give me the Colorado Rockies coming off a 43-win season last year.
You got that one correct, buddy.
All right, the Pirates, I know they didn't have a great year, but they made some moves. I don't want to put Pirates there. What about the Nationals?
Yeah, that's not going to be the Pirates because they got Brandon Lau, baby, and Jake Mangum. They're going to be set up for a playoff run. You said the who?
I did say
you said the Washington Nationals.
Yep.
You nailed it. Who's the third one?
Oh, third
to me,
team,
this is the easiest.
Chicago White Sox.
You nailed it. All right, this is going to get a little bit harder.
Okay.
All right, these are the teams that have 0.1% chance to win. There are 3 of them. Do you think one of these 3 teams is the Tampa Bay Rays?
I do not think that the Rays are this low either.
That is correct. They are not. Can you name who you think the 3 teams are in this category?
Okay, yeah. Give me the Minnesota Twins.
The Minnesota
Twins.
Nope, they are not a team with less than 1% chance to win.
Okay. How about the Athletics?
The Athletics have a 1% chance to win. So they're not in that category. We're on 0.1%. But the A's were one of the 11 teams.
Okay.
All right, but they have a 1% chance to win according to Fangraphs.
All right, how about another one? Did I say the Twins already of Minnesota?
You did say the Twins. I'll give you one more guess. If you get it wrong, I'll give you all three.
Angels, 72. 72 wins last year.
You nailed it. Who are the other two?
Oh. Other two teams, that's a good question.
One of them is in the state of Florida.
The Miami Marlins.
That is correct. The other one.
Even though they got Pete Fairbanks. Pete Fairbanks is down there. Those threads, I hate to say, they look awesome, dude. That teal, oh, man.
Look, I love Pete, but the signing of them didn't make them better than a 0.1% chance to win the World Series. The third team in that category, I will give you a hint, has a connection to Ronnie Lane.
St. Louis Cardinals.
There you go.
St. Louis Cardinals. Yep, obviously Ronnie Lane back with the inside pitch this year for the Rays on DAE, so listen to that.
Now, this one I find interesting because I think this team can actually win their division because I think the division sucks. So there's one hint for you. There's one team in the category of 0.2%. Clearly, it's not the Rays because I said the division sucks. There's one team with 0.2% chance to win the World Series. Do you know who that team is?
Division sucks. I mean, there are a couple divisions that weren't up to par last year.
It's an AL division that sucks.
Yeah, you got to go out. I'm going to go with the West, AL West.
Nope, it's in the AL Central.
Oh, okay. All right, and we already said the White Sox were knocked down. Already mentioned the Twins. About the Kansas City Royals.
Give me one more.
The Tigers made some moves, dude.
You bastard. It's the Guardians.
Okay. I was about to say, they had a decent year last year.
All right, 0.5 chance to win the World Series, this team. There's one of them in this category. Do you think it's the Rays? A 0.5% chance to win the World Series.
And we're going all the way up until 1%, correct?
Correct, which we already named the A's as the 1% team.
No, I don't think this is the Tampa Bay Rays either.
0.5% also isn't the Rays. I'll give you a hint. Let's see your baseball knowledge. Every single year, opening day is played in this city.
Cincinnati.
There you go.
Cincinnati Reds.
You know your stuff. All right, 0.6%. There's one team in this category. Is it the Tampa Bay Rays?
I did not believe the Rays are this low either in 2026. I don't see it.
I don't think you're going to get this one either because I definitely didn't see this one. San Diego Padres. And at 0.8% is your Tampa Bay Rays.
Based on the list that we just ran through, based on the teams in 2026 and their percentages, I think the Rays at that percent, 0.8, is unfortunately fair heading into the year at least. That can change, though.
It can change. They can obviously surprise us. They are the Rays. But the thing with the Rays is, you know, we always say, well, they're the Rays. But I feel like this is a different era of the Rays. Like, we have turned the page. And yeah, there's a couple guys. You know, Yandy Diaz is still part of their success. You know, he's still kind of carrying over. But, you know, Junior wasn't around last time that they were super successful. And a lot of the guys of the core, you know, like the Brandon Lows are out of here. And the Pete Fairbanks, who you mentioned. So it's a different group of guys that are going to be, you know, tested this year to try to overachieve, you know, like they do. And don't get me wrong, and this team's been consistent even before the Brandon Lowe era, right? And that group of guys that went to the World Series, right? Since 2010, out of all the teams in the AL, they've won the second most amount of games, which is pretty impressive when you think about it. So, look, I don't have strong hopes of them doing much this year, but I have a little bit more faith in them this year. Not in winning a World Series, but just competing and being successful a little bit longer in the year because I think they're finally going to play in a ballpark that they are built to play in. And I heard Pat and Aaron talking about, will Junior Camanero's, you know, game translate into the Trop? And I didn't really think about that. Like, he's never played, you know, he's never had to really, you know, play indoor. Like, hitting indoors is a completely different thing. So, you know, it's interesting to see how that will. I think he'll be just fine. He's not going to lose his power, but, you know, contact at the Trop is a different game. But they absolutely have the pitching to be successful in the ballpark to help their pitching out, and that's kind of where I'm at with the Rays and their success. All right, coming up next, what teams were saying at the Combine, right? We've got what they were saying, but now I want to tell you what they really meant. And yes, of course, Max Crosby's going to come up in this. C.J. Stroud's going to come up in this. We'll get all the things that were said at the Combine coming up next on The Nick Wise Show.
The home of the best Bulls coverage in Tampa Bay. 95.7